These two women are immortals. They've been hanged for 10 hours, but they're still alive. The crowd around them is very scared. The church considered them to be witches and executed them over and over again, but they still revived. So they came up with another way. A woman was locked in an iron cage with a chain and a rope was tied around her neck. They drowned her in the sea for her to drown. Such misery gradually forced her to go crazy. It wasn't long before the other girl escaped. Her name was Andy. She's been looking for her friend, locked in an iron coffin, for years now, but she hasn't found any results yet. During this time, she created an undead legion dedicated to defeating terrorists. That same day, the CIA detective found Andy, and he told her that there was a place under terrorist attack, so he asked her to go there with him in order to rescue the hostages. After receiving the quest, they quickly arrived there. They all carried powerful weapons. There was a sword from 1,000 years ago. The four quickly infiltrated the enemy base. After re-examination, the hostages' whereabouts were not found at this time. The light suddenly flashed, and the enemy rushed out and shot at them. It turned out there were no hostages here. It was a trap. After confirming that 4 of Andy's people were dead, they weren't alert. But it was at this moment that Andy revived, and she began to counterattack. One by one, she took them out, and Andy discovered the camera in the corner of the wall. She understood that she had been harmed, but the person who set the trap was a CIA detective. He's always investigating immortals. When he got this video, he immediately found the boss and gave it to him. The boss is very interested and wants to bring them back to study. On the other side of the battlefield, Nile and other soldiers are on duty under the special forces. When she caught the terrorist, she was attacked by the enemy. She was hit in the neck. She died on the spot, but Nile quickly regained consciousness, proving that she is also immortal. This scene was felt by other immortals. 4 people were immediately woken up, and he decided to go save her. The next day, the wound on Nile's neck was gone. Her teammates look at her like they're looking at a monster. Her superiors decided to take her to the research institute, but on the way, Andy suddenly appeared to knock the crowd out and then took Nile away. Nile woke up on the way. She kicked the door open with her foot after Andy found out she got out of the car, so she stopped and went after her. She shot Nile directly. Andy introduced himself to her. The two quickly reunited with the others. Nikki and Ron live for 1,000 years. Sebastian is also over 100 years old. Andy is over 2,000 years old. In this world, and every few hundred years, an immortal will appear, and Captain Andy will go find them. There was once an immortal who lived for more than 500 years before the ability suddenly disappeared. But what is more frightening is being locked in an iron coffin and thrown into the sea. Such misery frightens others upon hearing such a story. Nile ran out, and Andy ran to comfort her. But at this moment, a group of armed mercenaries sneaked in to attack them. It turns out James brought along the boss's subordinates to capture Nikki and Ron. After learning that Andy is angry, she finds a mercenary to pull out her sword. After that, she fought with dozens of guys alone. After the fight was over, the 3 of them hitched a ride to a secret cave and waited for the next day to save their comrades. But Andy discovered that the wounds sustained during the battle had not yet healed, proving her ability is slowly fading. But she didn't tell her comrades. She secretly treats the wound herself. The next day, the 3 found James' place and were just about to kill him. Nile gave up. She wants to live in peace, and Andy respects Nile's choice. The 2 snuck inside and quickly found James, but Sebastian suddenly shot her in the back, injuring Andy's waist and tying her up. Andy asks Sebastian why he did it. It turns out he was intentionally left behind with the main purpose of catching Andy. He no longer wants to live to discover the secret of immortality with James and his boss and find a way to make him die. But now he knows that Andy's wound can't heal on its own. The boss also brought people over, and Sebastian was also controlled. He told the boss that Andy's ability had lost hope and that he should let Andy go. James was also on his side to advise him, but the boss didn't care and directly knocked James out. Then take them both and tie them up on the bed. The master wants to conduct experiments on them until the secret of immortality is found. Nile has returned to help. She is worried about the safety of her comrades, but she found out that only James was in the room, and James regretted what he did. He told Nile the real reason. James knows, but immortals have fought for centuries to protect the human world. For example, preventing the nuclear bomb from destroying humans. But James was tricked by his boss. He just wanted the secret of immortality. James brought Nile to his boss's company. Nile went up alone to save her comrades, but just on her way, she met a mercenary. They immediately shot her without knowing that Nile is immortal. The more she goes forward, the more enemies she encounters, but such an opponent can't stop her at all. Soon she reached the laboratory, successfully saving her comrades. They also forgave Sebastian. Everyone rushed out together. They quickly defeated all the mercenaries, but they still haven't found the boss. Below is a car driving away. People think the boss's car is the person getting away. Only Andy and Nile were on top of the building, but now the boss suddenly appeared. He shot Nile. Andy took the opportunity to steal the axe and hit the boss. The boss was about to shoot. Nile quickly got up to block it and pushed downstairs from the tall building. Everyone quickly got in the car and left.